Here's Flutie. Well, Nizelek went one way, or Shane rather, went toward the middle, and Flutie threw it to the outside. Closest man there was Terry Kennard.
Well, I tell you, if Ronald Watson had caught that, he'd have had a little running room too. But Doug Flutie'd like to have that ball back. He had John Shane open momentarily, and the ball just slipped out of his hand. I think it's very difficult, and in fact, I am amazed at many times at how well these quarterbacks throw going to their opposite hand direction.
Jack Belcher over the ball at center. He's one of the best in the land. Ball 2nd and 10 at the 33. Flutie has Brennan on the slot on the near side and a wing back on the far side. Well, the pressure is on. Flutie's going to have to come out of it. Not much there. First man over, Johnny Rembert got there, and also Jeff Suttle was there quickly.
It looks like they've made a coach's decision to go after him because Johnny Rembert was coming all the way. And I tell you, he can run. He's a big guy. But Doug Flutie was running for his life the whole way.
Give him about a yard and a half on the play. Let's call it 3rd down and 8 here for Boston College. And again, you face a passing situation. The Tigers get back off the line. Slot on the near side for the Eagles. Flutie with some time to throw. That's going to be awfully close to a first down. That's Rich Shrigley on the reception. And Shrigley himself, there you look at number 82, is quite a story because he almost came to Clemson back a number of years ago as a basketball player. It is a first down. His uncle is Norm Sloan, who coaches at Florida.
Well, Rich Shrigley just runs a little turn in, and of course, using that basketball ability as well as he can, he makes a great catch there for a first down. He's a 5th-year man. He stayed around just to play football.
Yep, this is the first year he's played football since his freshman year in high school. On the basketball team last year at Boston College, did quite well. Ball at the 44, 1st and 10. Flutie. Oh, that's picked off. He was trying to go to Shrigley again, but the Tigers come up with it. And I believe that was Johnny Rembert that came over in front of that.
Johnny Rembert makes a great play on the ball. Shrigley came out just running a little out pattern at about 5 yards, and Rembert was all over top of him. Here we go. Now watch Johnny Rembert backpedaling. He sees the end. Now he goes for coverage and makes a diving interception here. Fine play. I think he could have gone all the way.
Tigers good field position. Jordan gets out of trouble and throws it out of bounds. Closest man to that one was Tony Thurman, but there was pressure on by Bob Swanky.
Well, I think you saw the type of athlete Homer Jordan is, and I think the ordinary quarterback would have been down at that point, but he's still fighting to get outside. And of course, as we say, and he's the 3rd leading passer in Clemson history. He has a chance to be #1 in both total offense and passing.
Well, he's been a good one, and you don't bottle him up very long. 2nd down and 10 Tigers as they work now from the I. Up tight in the I is Jeff McCall. Now the pitch goes to the deep man, and down goes Austin, I believe, on the carry. No, it was Chuck McSwain.
Chuck McSwain is only 860 yards away from being the all-time Clemson yard gainer, and he's never started. I think that's an amazing story.
Give him 7 on the play. 3rd down and 3 now for the Tigers from the BC 40. Oh, Jordan hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Wiggles forward for about a yard, but I believe the first man to get there was Swanky.
Well, Boston College knows how to play defense also, and they've got some pretty big guys up there, and I would say their defensive line probably is equal in weight average to the Clemson line.
Well, it's 4th down and 3. Tigers feeling now they're in 4-down territory, and this sea of orange here at Frank Howard Field comes alive. Jordan, I don't think he got it. Oh, was he hit hard. Fitzpatrick was up very, very quickly from his linebacker position and filled that one.
Well, that's a fine play by T.J. Fitzpatrick. Fine play.
And that's going to turn it over to the Tigers as Jordan couldn't get it.
Now, they got a lot of criticism in the Georgia game for not going with Homer Jordan more in short yardage situations. There was a time when they came back to it, and T.J. Fitzpatrick just made a great play.
Good field position now, too, Ken, for the Eagles as they have it at the 37-yard line. Flutie has folks running around as they go wide to the right side and work out of the eye. Inside, handoff, short reverse, Brennan across the 40, and down he goes.
Oh, if he could have held up just a little bit longer, he had people in front of him. Glenn Reagan was leading that play. If Brian Brennan had been able to slow himself down a little bit, a very well executed reverse play, and as you can see by now that Coach Bicknell puts a little motion in that offense.
Coach Bicknell really brought this Eagle team along late last year. They started to really work in tandem when Flutie got comfortable at the quarterback slot late in the year. They gave Pittsburgh one heck of a game. It's 2nd down and 5. Flutie fakes the draw, looks for some room. Now with Perry, he's got a long one on the way. That's Kennard. Perry Kennard has just picked off his 13th career pass and 3 more. And he's going to set an all-time Clemson record, Ken. He, of course, last year was an All-America. You can bet he's going to be one this year, and he's one that the pros want badly because he's sensational.
Well, I think Doug Flutie underthrew this ball. He had him open all the way. He has to run around, and a lot of times receivers get open. But look at Terry Kennard get up and make this interception. He's a great one, and before he's through, he should have that interception leadership.
No doubt. He got one, of course, against Georgia in the opening game. Now the Tigers work from their 20-yard line. No score here in the first quarter. This is Austin looking for running room outside. Steps over one man before Crawford finally runs him out of bounds with the help of the Aussie. I'm sorry, 1st down. 15. Jordan outside, stopped still. Got it up to the 35-yard line. Radachowski there quickly to knock Magwood out of bounds.
Well, he's looking like vintage Homer Jordan right now. This is the way they became national champions last year. Jeff Stockstill runs just a simple little 7, 8-yard out pattern. And the beautiful thing about it is that ball is right there waiting for him. It's thrown right as he makes his turn. Catches the ball. Radachowski comes up to knock him out.
Give him 4 on the play at 2nd and 1. Boy, look at this opening. That's McSwain with the ball inside the 10 and out of bounds. Dick Crawford was the man that finally hit him out of bounds over there, along with Thurman. But what a run there by McSwain, Chuck McSwain.
Here we go, simple give to the fullback, excuse me, to the tailback, and he just has a big hole. And he takes off, and he keeps moving. Dick Crawford finally comes up, but I don't know whether that's running ability or blocking ability.
Well, blocking ability. Jeff McCall again enabled him to get outside by turning Russ Joyner outside. Here's the handoff as McCall gets the opportunity this time. Takes it down close to the 5-yard line where Steve Diassi is there on the stop.
Oh, this is what Clemson does oh so well. They just keep picking away at you in those short runs, maybe picking up a 10 or 15-yard run. And they got those backs moving. You know, occasionally, Jim, I look at their backs and I think they're too close up behind the quarterback, and I don't think they give themselves a chance to run. They're not over 2.5 or 3 yards.
2nd down and goal. Handoff, McSwain, touchdown.
Well, there's not much to say about that. Chuck McSwain.
This will be Bob Pauling attempting the kick. He's the short man, and Pauling drills it. And the Clemson Tigers, with 3:15 to go here in the first quarter, break the ice. So with the score, the Clemson Tigers 7, the Eagles of Boston College nothing. We pause briefly for these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. Donald Igwe cues it up for the Tigers, and there's a good look at him. He knocked it clear out of this place on the opening kickoff. Brown and Stratford are deep and probably won't get a chance to return it. Oh, this one's coming up a little bit shorter. That's Stratford 2 yards deep, and he's going to bring it out. 10. Finds a seam. 20. Great cut. And falls down at the 30-yard line. Ikwe was the man there to make the stop on the play, the man that kicked it off. But for Stratford, what a return.
Well, Troy Stratford made a great move there. And I tell you, they didn't expect Dano Ikwe to become a tackler, but he got down there much to his credit and helped make that play.
From 2 yards out of the end zone, ball just across the 30-yard line. The Eagles trail it 7-0. And Flutie, you're going to see him do this a lot this afternoon. Boyd's trouble as a man wide open. Brennan cross midfield, 45, and down he goes. On the stop back there was Billy Davis.
Oh, this is how he can hurt you. Doug Flutie, you've got to bring him down back there or he can eat you up. Here you see Brian Brennan over on the far side coming down. Just starts running in. Now when he sees Doug Flutie running around, he just keeps coming toward him. And of course, Doug Flutie gets loose to throw the ball right on the money, turns it back upfield.
It's 1st and 10 Eagles. Ball on the 44-yard line. Flutie looks outside, got a man complete across the way.
That's a fine pass.
Oh, boy, it really is. That's Gerald Phelan over there, number 20. The sophomore out of Rosemont, Pennsylvania, 6 foot, 184-pounder. He can catch the football.
Now, Doug Flutie's proven that he can throw on the run, too, because that was the same type of pass that Homer Jordan completed early. Dead run. Gerard Phelan made a beautiful out move.
And that's Phelan's first catch of the year. He wasn't on the end of any of those at Texas A&M. Ball at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, and the partisan Tiger fans come alive. Flutie looking over the middle. Oh, man wide open. That's Shane. He had Arrington turned around over there on that side with the move to the inside and then going outside.
Well, Jim, that's understandably that he had Arrington turn around because he ran what we used to call a zig out. He came like he was going to run a post pattern, turned it around directly and went to the flag, and there was no covering him.
There's Doug Flutie, the sophomore out of Natick, Massachusetts. 18 of 26 against A&M for 354 yards, and right now he's dissecting the Tigers secondary. Flags down. Flutie in the end zone, can't find Brennan. Good coverage over there on the end zone. The coverage was by Reggie Pleasant.
Billy Davis got over there to help him out. Offsides, I believe, Clemson.
That'll be 2nd down and 10, but we had penalty markers down, so let's wait for the calls. The Tigers lead at 7-0. 2.5 minutes to go in our first quarter.
I like this offense, Jim. It's exciting, and Doug Flutie brings something to the game that you just don't normally see in college football. They're running a pro-type offense, which shows that you can run it in college football. Well, he's got some great receivers.
Tigers were offside on the play, so move the Eagles 5 steps closer. It's 1st down and 5. The ball there on the 7-yard line. Oh, Flutie in trouble now. Hedden had the rush on, and Flutie throws it up in about the 3rd row in the end zone.
Well, no doubt about it. Andy Hedden put the pressure on him, and Doug Flutie's not dumb. He's going to put it up. And if he could have gotten it up to the 50th row, I think he would have just have been safe. Good play.
2nd down, 5 for BC. Coach Jack Bicknell runs in and out those wide receivers now as Zdenek goes out of the lineup. So does Rich Shrigley. Shane is back in. Nizelek is in. Brennan are the receivers. They put a slot on the right. See just one running back behind Doug Flutie. And he can run with the ball, too. A lot of pressure now. Ducks out of it. Still looking to throw. Fumbles the football. Tigers got it. I believe it was Dan Benish that got the football.
A tough break for Doug Flutie. Dan Benish, the great All-American tackle, comes up with a football.
Young man from Hubbard, Ohio. He was the ACC Defensive Player of the Week in the first week of the Atlantic Coast Conference season.
Well, Doug Flutie brought him all the way down. He's scrambling back there for his life. He started to throw the ball, then decided not to throw it, could not tuck it back down in time.
Indecision that hurt him, so the Tigers go 1st and 10 from their own 10. Oh, look at Jordan. Airs it out. Got a man open and overthrows McSwain.
He had Frank Magwood open, which would have put him out to about the 35-yard line. And Homer decided to go for the bundle. There's Rod McSwain, the younger brother of Chuck McSwain, the fine running back. And Rod is seeing more offensive action today than he's probably seen in his whole varsity career.
2nd down and 10. Going for the unexpected on that first play. Shadow their own goalpost. The Tigers have made that big defensive play. Again, Jordan looking outside. Okay, Stockstill with the reception. Not much gain. Just a little lookout.
Well, certainly a safe pass, and I think Jeff Stockstill's a little upset with himself. He'd like to have gotten about 5 yards out of that play, and he turned around a little quickly. Here we go, Chuck. Rod McSwain in the ball game for Jeff Stockstill.
It's 3rd. Call it 7. Running backs are McCall and Austin behind Jordan. Homer looking to throw. But a man outside. Magwood, 1st down, 25-yard line. You know, Magwood only caught 3 passes in the Georgia game, but he averaged 18 yards per catch.
Not a bad average. Of course, the leading receiver coming back, he floods this side of the field. And of course, Homer Jordan throwing again toward his left. Watch Magwood get up. Great hands. Makes the play in front of Pereira.
Ball at the 25, 1st and 10. That's Austin. Slipped a little bit as he went up the middle. Gets a couple on the play. I think Swanky was the first man to get to him there.
There's Big Dan Benish. He looks like he's having a little bit of muscle problems, maybe a little back problem. They cannot afford to lose him.
Boy, he's a good one. That is a strong defensive front of the Clemson Tigers. Offense trying to make it go now. Yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. There's a little turnout again to McSwain. This time he can't hold on.
Should have had it. I imagine Rod can say, hey, Coach, I haven't been back there too much, and give me another chance. I don't know if Danny will.
3rd and 9 as Stockstill is going to check back into the Clemson huddle. He'll deliver the play to Homer Jordan. Magwood and Stockstill both come to the near side. Magwood in the slot. Jordan throwing to the outside. Magwood, 1st down, out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Boy, you can tell when a couple guys have played together for a while, too, Ken.
Well, they're really hot. And Frank Magwood is running great patterns. He's going out, cutting it off sharply. And, of course, Homer Jordan's delivering the ball right on the money.
Of course, Jordan already only the 3rd player in Tiger history to pass for over 3,000 yards. He's having a brilliant afternoon so far. Under a minute to play first quarter. Taking it to the outside, Stacy Driver bounces off of one man still on his feet, out of bounds over midfield, but we have penalty markers down.
Stacy Driver showing that freshman speed, 5'10", 175, a freshman. They talked a little bit about playing him this week. They said he could really go. Let's wait and see what that penalty is all about. Stacy Driver would like to keep that yardage. Tough luck holding against Clemson. Oh, looked like a double foul. I've never seen that before.
Well, we got a clipping call too, don't we? That's the first play for Stacy Driver, I believe, of his college career.
First play of his varsity career.
Danny Ford. A little bit concerned about his offense after the Georgia game and wanted to spend a lot of time with it. Well, the offense has, with the exception of that first drive, Ken, has moved the ball pretty well here.
They certainly look good, and I think that they're running the football like the Clemson team of last year.
The fun of a college football Saturday afternoon and the beauty that goes along with it. There's the mark-off of 10 yards on the play.
Well, thank goodness they only take one 15-yard penalty. I'm sure Danny was a little worried that they might keep marching.
It'll be second down and 20 now for the first down. Ball back inside the 30-yard line. That's the hand of the beat man. This is Driver again. Turns to the outside, gets across the 30, and down he goes there. First man to get in on was Lubisher. Then Moriarty came up.
Now Stacy Driver has a lot of speed. He looks like he's running a little recklessly right now, but I think that as he gets a little bit older and gets a little bit more experience, he'll get himself under control.
He's 5'10", 175-pound freshman from Griffin, Georgia. It's second down now, about, call it 17 to go. Give Driver 3 on the last play. Here comes a reverse, deep and in trouble. Oh, what a great play. Swanky came up to make the play on Rod McSwain. Swanky in quickly. There's big number 92. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter as the clock runs down. So with the score, the Clemson Tigers 7, the Boston College Eagles nothing. We'll pause briefly for these messages. That ball could have easily been intercepted because Homer had overthrown Rod McSwain.
Well, they're certainly running Rod McSwain on a bunch of long patterns today, and I don't know the reason for that, since he has the least experience, but Homer was hit right as he released the football, and he did very well to get it that far.
Well, folks were wondering how solid his knee is, Homer's knee. It's held up very, very well. You can see the Tigers have well, they've carried the ball 80 yards on the ground, 17 carries. The Tigers have mixed up their offense while Flutie has been throwing it. Here's Hatcher's punt. Fair catch, Brennan at about the 32-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 14 to go for the Eagles. The Eagles have moved the ball pretty well against the very stout Clemson defense, but like a rubber band, the Tiger defense has bent a little bit here this afternoon, but it certainly hasn't broken. They have great pride. Flutie with pressure on. Boy, if he gets out of that, he's a magician. Look at that toss. Tried to find Howie Brown. How Flutie even got rid of the ball, I don't know.
Tremendous ability. They had a full-scale blitz on both linebackers coming after him, and he still gets the ball off. Here they come. Johnny Rimbert's coming. William Devane is on him. He eludes both of them, starts upfield, starts to get hit again, lets it go, and Howie Brown almost brings the ball down, which would have been a fantastic reception.
Nizelek is going to punt it away. Got it back on a one-hopper and drills it. Not
Big
very
kick.
high. Oh, my. What's this going to do? It's going to, just go into the end zone. Just barely got into the end zone as Billy Davis watched it go back in. So with the timeout on the field and the score, the Clemson Tigers 7, the Eagles of Boston College nothing. We'll take timeout for these messages on the Raycom Sports Network. With 10:15 to go here in the half, the Eagles will put it in play from their own 15, trailing at 7-0. Bud Flutie on a long count. Hand up the middle as it goes to Strahan. Straight ahead, he comes across the 20. Yes, sir, they get dressed up to come to the ball game here at Death Valley.
They do. They don't waste a lot of money on clothes, though. Steve Strahan, 6'1", 202-pound sophomore.
Give him 5 on the play, make it second down and 5. One of the few running plays that the Eagles have used to keep that defense honest. Murphy, Shane, going to the outside. Here's a pitch back. Not much running room there for Howie Brown. David Nolte was the first man to get to him.
Well, I think Danny Ford is cleaning this bench out on this hot day. There's Jack Bicknell, the coach of the BC Eagles. What an innovative guy he is, from the University of Maine.
Team 1-0 coming in here. This is only his second year at Boston College, but he's 6-6 with the Eagles. Boy, he's got a good-looking football team, too. It's third down, long 2 to go here for the Eagles. Have not thrown yet in this series. I'm going to take care of that. Wide open over the middle is Rich Shrigley. That's first down out to the 38-yard line. Vendale Arrington was there.
I tell you, you've got to keep your eyes open the whole way. Here they had Steve Strahan out as the flanker. They move around. Doug Flutie. What a quarterback. Rich Shrigley, the former basketball player, comes in for a little turn-in. And Vendale Arrington comes up and makes a stop.
Shrigley's a handful, too. He's 6'5", 210. He's
a big guy.
Nashua, New Hampshire. First and 10, ball on the 38-yard line for the Eagles. Flutie looks outside, throws, intercepted. That may be McSwain on the interception. Or did he trap it? Nope, that was Suttle, Jeff Suttle.
The ball slipped out of Doug Flutie's hand.
Saw Doug Flutie described Ken as a crazy-legged bundle of excitement. He has been that.
I'll go along with that. I think it's just fun watching them get set in their formation. They're running around. Everybody's crossing each other.
Oh, they come to decked in orange here at Clemson, and they do live it up. This is one of the loudest stadiums that you will find on Saturday afternoon. They have a good time at Death Valley. It's 2nd and 10. Flutie got Brennan open, but threw it in behind him. Brennan was open. Flutie was off target.
Brian Brennan, their leading receiver of last year, caught 37. Exceptionally fast, good hands. Not a big guy, only 5'10", 175. Jack Bicknell looking at that computer mind of his.
Well, Brian Brennan was the leading receiver Texas A&M game with 4 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Now, big third down play for the Eagles, 3rd and 10. Tigers look like they had linebackers coming, and now they drop off. Here's the throw, can't hold on to it. Down, that would have been first down had Nizelek been able to hold on, but he couldn't. Ball was thrown in a pretty good spot, too, with the coverage down around his knees, just couldn't hold on.
Well, it was an excellent throw, too, John Nizelek. We've got another penalty down. Both sides have been plagued with the long ones, not the 5-yarders. There's another holding penalty. Danny Ford looking at his team. It'll be declined, and Boston College will kick.
Scott Nizelek averaged 44 yards a punt on the 2 kicks he had against Texas A&M. There's Billy Davis back deep, standing at his own 20-yard line. Another low snap. They're coming this time, and boy, just did miss. Almost blocked. There's Davis, the young freshman, brings it to the 25-yard line before he goes down. So the Eagles will turn over to the Clemson Tigers, and we'll be right back after these important messages. Jim Forrest along with Ken Willard here at Death Valley on a hot Saturday afternoon. Tigers in a real battle with the Eagles of Boston College. Have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line after the BC punt. Working out of the eye. Jordan will turn to Stockstill up to the 40-yard line. Pick up on the play of about 5. Radachowski is the man over there working against Stockstill. Little turnout pass has been the favorite of Jordan so far in this game, on either side of the Magwood or Stockstill.
When Clemson's got their offense in full gear, they run that pass pattern quite often.
Give him 6 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 4. Fumble. Let's see who's got the football. Well, the Eagles seem to think they do.
Big play.
And they do. Who was it, Rob Swanky?
Either Swanky or Mike Harrington. Scott Harrington, excuse me.
Well, it's Diossi.
Well, I missed on both of them.
There's 3 big guys in the middle anyway that have played tough defense for Boston College. Now they've got good field position. Eagles earlier in the game penetrated down to the 15-yard line. gave it away on a fumble by Flutie. Now they have it at the Clemson 37, 1st and 10, and the Clemson fans urging the defense again. A lot of pressure on Flutie, and we're going to get intentional grounding. Flutie doesn't think so. Boy, was the pressure coming on.
They're going to call him for intentional grounding. And if that's the call, which it is, I have to disagree with the referee. I have seen many more that were much more intentional than that. There's no doubt about it. Doug Flutie threw that ball to get rid of it, but he did have a receiver trying to get back to it. Danny Ford surveying the action, very pleased at this time. Loss of down.
That's really major. It's now 2nd down and a bunch. It's got to be about 25. Handoff comes to Howie Brown. And he gets it back to about the 45-yard line where the Tigers roll him up there. Ray Brown, I believe, on the stop. It was.
Ray Brown not expected to play a whole lot today, but it looks like he's back in there and feeling better. A wholesale substitution of receivers on the part of BC.
Third down and a bunch for the Eagles at their own 45. Flutie looking, throws for Zadanek. Can't hold on down at the 35-yard line. A little out pattern, but Zadanek cannot hold on. And it's going to bring up punting situation here for the Eagles.
Now they let a great situation get by him. Doug Flutie is just a foot or two off on all of his throws. He's doing fantastic, in my opinion, to even get him off many times.
Nizelek is deep. Davis stands back at his own 10. Another bad snap, but no pressure this time. Nizelek hits it well. Back inside the 5 is Davis. Look for some blocking, goes up the middle, and down he goes. Eagles were really down quickly on that play, and that was Bob Bissers, who was down to make the initial hit. 6:53 to play. Tigers from their own 12 trying to get outside. Get a little bit over the 15 out to about the 18-yard line. McSwain just powering his way straight ahead.
Chuck McSwain, again, destined to become probably the all-time leading rusher in Clemson history. Got some help from Jeff Stockstill, who stood up George Radachowski and enabled Chuck to run that football.
Now McSwain closing in on 7th place on the all-time rushing list of the Tigers. There's McSwain again across the 20 out to about the 21-yard line, and again George Radachowski is there to greet him.
Danny Ford, not a man of a lot of words, but a hard worker, and of course 1981, his greatest year, coach of the year. Jack Bicknell, coach of the BC Eagles, 2nd year at the Heights.
Tigers lead it 7-0. Down under 6 minutes to play in the half. Jordan, quick pitch. McSwain tries to turn outside. There's some good defense. McSwain's going to lose a few. It was 3rd and 1. Radachowski was there again.
Dick Crawford came up, made the initial hit, along with Doug Geyer, the defensive end.
And that'll bring up another punting situation for the Tigers. 4th and about 6, and Dale Hatcher stands back on his 1-yard line.
You better not give Boston College that many chances. Flag down.
This is Brennan. Fair catch, drops the ball, and then picks it up at the 36-yard line.
I think we had a little movement in the offensive line on Clemson's part. If so, I'm sure Boston College would like to give them another chance to kick that ball.
Illegal participation on the white.
No, it was illegal formation on Boston College.
I don't know what an illegal formation on a punt return is.
Well, let's see what Clemson's going to do with it right now. It was 4th and about 6. Boy, crucial crucial mistakes. But
It's going to be close to a first down.
It really is.
But if it's not,
oh yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one.
that's a costly penalty, and I guess you learn not to come up with illegal formations too often.
First down, Tigers all the way out to the 32-yard line. They're out of a big hole here. Homer Jordan looking over the middle. Good defense there, but he got the ball to Stockstill. Todd Russell was right up on the back of split end Jeff Stockstill, who is a senior out of Fernandina Beach, Florida, but Homer found him anyway.
As the Tiger,
pick up a 10-yard first down.
Jeff Stockstill, I don't think could have run that pattern any better, and I don't think Todd Russell could have done any more except mug him, perhaps. He had him all the way, and Stockstill fought him off to make that reception.
Another Clemson first down as it out across the 40-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Trying to turn to the outside. Tigers making the move. Poles there to make the stop on the play. That was Steve Griffin, young freshman from Charlotte. South Mecklenburg High School up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Danny Ford said he'd play his freshman, and it was time to get him in the game, and he sure has done it.
Done all three of them. We've seen Driver, Flagler, and now Steve Griffin. And a couple other good ones that may be getting redshirted here. Loss of one on the play. Second and 11. Homer wants to throw. Good throw. Magwood made the catch, but he was out of bounds. Homer went down, too, as Dave Pereira, the strong safety, had the rush on.
I think Homer, if he could have been able to get that ball off a little bit quicker, 7 completions for 55 yards so far today. He's thrown on the run virtually every time.
Third down and 11 for the Tigers. Under 4 minutes to play in the half, and Clemson holding on for a 7-0 lead.
For the Tigers, number 41.
Jordan just loops this one to the outside where Magwood was open. This could be touchdown. Radachowski with a chance, and he's the last chance, and he brought down Frank Magwood. Magwood just bumped into a couple of guys along the sideline and then broke loose at about the 38-yard line.
A great run by Frank Magwood. He runs this out pattern, comes up, they have a little crossing. Now watch Frank turn out. Now he knows he's going toward the sideline, so he holds up right there. Stops, catches the ball, turns it upfield, receives a hit from Todd Russell. I cannot see who that was.
Crawford.
Dick Crawford. And now they're off to the races. George Radachowski makes a stop down there, preventing a TD.
First and 10, the ball at the 17-yard line. Here's the pitch to Austin. Couple on the play before Pereira is there to make the stop.
Those are the things that really give you an ulcer as a coach. You had them in good position. And Vic Crawford came up to make the big hit, but just didn't wrap the arms.
Only score in this game came at the 3:15 mark of the first quarter, when the Tigers got McSwain into the end zone from 5 yards out. And it's 7-0. Under 3 minutes to play in the game. On 2nd and 8, this is Jordan. That's Diassi, first man to get to him. The big linebacker kept him from getting outside. Great defensive play by Steve Diassi. 6'2", 245-pound junior, and he's had a great afternoon here.
Well, he was the leading tackler on this ball club last year. Got a little help from Steve Lubisher. Steve Lubisher wanted to take that ball and run on his own. This is a crucial situation for Danny Ford's Clemson Tigers. They need to score.
It's 3rd and 7 at the 19. Jordan turns it up at the 10, and down he goes. Crawford was the first man to hit him. And I'll tell you, Homer is awfully close to a first down if they give him where the ball is placed right now. awfully close.
They were not. Homer was not going to pass this ball. He was running. Now watch Vic Crawford come up and give him a blow. And Homer shows at 6 foot 180, he's kind of strong.
He's
good
short
run
by about a half a yard. Paul Shaw was also there to stick Homer. It's 4th and about a half a yard to go. So about a minute and 45 to go here in the half. So with timeout on the field and the score, the Tigers 7 and the Eagles nothing. We'll take timeout. Well, I am sure that Coach Danny Ford would feel much better with a bigger lead than he's got right now at halftime, and with the clock ticking down under 2 minutes to play. Tigers with a big play here. It's 4th down, less than a yard to go for a first down. Homer Jordan hands it off. They've got the first down. Jeff McCall took it to the outside off tackle and picks up the big first down.
Jeff McCall, 225 pounds. He is so close to that quarterback when he lines up. If we had a better camera angle, we could see that. There's the quick handoff. Almost runs into his halfback. In fact, he does, but enough to pick up the first down.
Well, DeOssie made the play, but I'll tell you what, Bob Mayberry, the big right tackle for the Tigers, is the man that gave him the room. Here's the handoff again. McCall rather. He crawls across the 4 into about the 2-yard line.
With that big line in front of him blocking, it seems almost impossible. There, the clock running down, almost under a minute now. Clemson's going to have a dual fight trying to get in against BC and the clock.
Ball 2 yards away. Double tight end in now for the Tigers as they work it out of the I formation. They give it to the second man. That's Austin's in. Oh, what a great leap by Cliff Austin as he took it over the top.
Cliff Austin over the top. Jack Bicknell not excited at this point. A little down after holding this mighty Clemson team most of the first half.
Bob Pauling is on now to attempt the extra point here for the Clemson Tigers. There he is. Look at number 6. And he's perfect. And the Clemson Tigers have their lead here at Death Valley. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Clemson Tigers 14, the Boston College Eagles nothing. We'll be back with the first half stats right after this. Well, the Clemson Tigers lead at 14-0 here at halftime, and they've done it, I think, Ken, basically because they've been able to move the ball effectively on the ground.
Well, I think they look like the Clemson ball club of old, last year's ball club that was national champions. They've been moving the ball consistently on the ground, eating up time, eating up yardage, and of course throwing a little lookout to Stockstill and Magwood, and Homer Jordan looks good.
And, of course, Danny Ford wants to take a look at some young backs today. He's had an opportunity to do that, and I think he's had to be pleased, too. And the Tigers have done very, very well with it. And, of course, in the second touchdown was one that they really wanted to get right before the halftime.
Well, they needed this one. It was set up by Frank Magwood's breakaway run. Cliff Austin, straight handoff, up and over. Looked pretty good to Danny Ford at that time.
And good blocking up front, too. And so many times you don't say much about those guys up front, but the offensive line in that particular series was really doing a good job of moving that big Boston College defense back off the ball.
Well, Kerry Macero, James Farr, Bob Mayberry, these guys are doing a fantastic job today, and this is a tough college team.
The pass that really has worked for the Tigers so far in this game has been that little turnout pass, either Stockstill or Magwood for the Clemson Tigers.
Well, of course, that's what Homer Jordan does so well. Throws on the run. They're constantly picking up the first down, eating at you with the run, and then trying to hit the big one maybe with a guy like Frank Magwood.
Flutie has been able to throw the ball for Boston College so far. East and west, he's moved it, but between the 20-yard lines, the Tiger defense is giving him some of those passes, so he's been successful at times, but the Tiger defense pretty much taken the Boston College offense away.
Well, they have, really. They've only gotten 10 yards rushing in the first half, and that's, you know, compared to 141 yards rushing for Clemson. They picked up 131 yards passing to Clemson's 91 yards, but time of possession, Boston College is 5 minutes short.
And, of course, that's very, very big in a game like this. There have been a couple crucial penalties, too, on Boston College, and a couple turnovers that this game may have been a little bit different in the first half.
I agree 100%.
And we'll be back with the start of the second half of today's game right after this